Part 1: The Shattered Horizon. The universe had a sense of humor, or so I told myself as I dangled by a fraying tether outside the hull of the freighter Vigilant Star asterisk. Somewhere beyond the thin visor, stars twinkled like conspiratorial eyes. I muttered a string of profanities, hoping they'd diffuse into the void where I didn't seem so insignificant. "Commander Rourke, are you still with us, or contemplating becoming cosmic dust?" The mildly sarcastic voice of my first mate, Elara, crackled through the comms. I could almost see her smirk from the control deck. "I'll have you know, Elara, I'm seriously considering the latter at the moment," I grunted, wrenching the sonic spanner with a bit more fervor than necessary. The rogue satellite dish that had skittered off its moorings wobbled ominously. Stabilizing it was only half the problem. The other half involved not losing my grip and floating into an unplanned and probably short-lived adventure into the vacuum. But the glory of space exploration, as they say, involves a fair share of manual labor. "Just hold it steady for 5 more seconds," Elara instructed, her voice steady. "I don't want to explain to HQ why the esteemed commander of this mission is currently in retrievable orbit." With a deft twist, the dish reseated itself, and I felt the tension in the tether release. My body tingled with the relief that comes only when one narrowly avoids their own stupidity. With practiced ease, I pivoted back toward the airlock, maneuvering into the welcoming metallic embrace as the hiss of equalizing pressure rang sweetly in my ears. Once inside, I stripped off the suit and let the ship's recycled air wash over my face. Scented like fried circuits and desperation, it was home. Elara met me in the corridor, her eyebrow arched in amusement. "You're a natural for drama, Rourke." "Drama's just one of my many talents," I replied, shrugging off the suit and grabbing a mug of artificial coffee from the passing drone. "How's our trajectory?" "Straight as a neutron beam. We'll hit the edge of the nebula field in 2 hours." "Good, the sooner we get through, the less chance of running into complications." I paused, taking a sip of the dark brew, its bitterness a comfort. "Speaking of complications," Elara said, her voice dropping into that tone that meant trouble, "you might want to have a look at what Oleg found in the cargo bay." I sighed. Oleg was our resident engineer, and his discoveries often meant another layer of chaos to unravel. As I made my way down, the ship's familiar hum surrounded me, a comforting reminder that despite its quirks, the Vigilant Star was a sturdy vessel. Oleg greeted me in the cargo bay, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and curiosity. The kind of mixture that, in my experience, never bodes well. "Commander, you're gonna want to see this," he said, gesturing to a crate he had pried open with what looked like a crowbar of questionable origin. Inside, nestled among packing foam and grime, was a device like none I'd ever seen. Irregular and crystalline, it shimmered with an iridescent glow, casting soft rainbows on the metallic walls. "What in the cosmos is that?" I muttered, more to myself than anyone else. "Beats me," Oleg replied, scratching his head. "It wasn't on any manifest I've checked." "Of course it wasn't," I sighed, and here I was thinking today couldn't get any more interesting. I reached out, fingertips brushing the crystalline surface. A shiver ran up my spine, and for a moment the whisper of a voice echoed in my mind, though its language was one I didn't recognize. Before I could dwell on it, the ship shuddered, a jarring motion that reverberated through the hull. The lights flickered, a symphony of alarms blaring in chaotic unison. "Rourke Bridge," Elara's voice was urgent over the comms. "We've got company." "On my way," I snapped, dashing up the corridors as the ship lurched again. The bridge was alive with the glow of monitors, stars streaking past on the main display. What are we dealing with? I demanded, sliding into my chair. Frigate class closing fast, Alara responded, fingers dancing over the console controls. I'm getting an ID now, it's the asterisk Fury's Edge asterisk. Pirates, I growled. We've crossed paths with them before. They had a knack for showing up at the worst possible moments, like a bad punchline. Let's not let them catch us with our pants down, I said. Oleg, divert power to shields. Ilara, bring us about and prep the cannon. The Vigilant Star asterisk thrummed, systems engaging with a ferocity that belied its utilitarian design. Outside, the cosmos was a blur of motion, the frigate closing distance. Think they want the crystal, Ilara quipped, voice taut with tension. Let's hope they don't get it, I replied, because I have a feeling it's more valuable than our entire ship. As the frigate's image loomed larger, I felt a grin spread across my face. Despite the odds, a familiar rush of adrenaline coursed through me. Time to remind them why they should find better hobbies. The first volley struck us with a resonating boom. Everything was about to get a lot more complicated. Part 2, the crystals call asterisk. The air on the bridge was electric, buzzing with tension as the asterisk Fury's Edge unleashed its second salvo. Metal screamed under pressure, the shields barely holding as the pirate frigate danced around us, as relentless as a swarm of hungry void bats. What's their game? I wondered aloud, plotting evasive maneuvers. The Vigilant Star asterisk groaned, its engines straining as we veered sharply left. They're trying to herd us toward the nebula, Ilara said, her eyes glued to the tactical display. They know we won't risk the anomaly on our tail. They're smarter than they look, I muttered before issuing orders. Oleg, give me more power, I want us out of their nets. Rerouting now, Commander. Oleg's voice crackled over the intercom as the ship responded with a surge of energy, the console's lights flickering like an ancient film reel. The irony of being pursued by those who once would have been our allies wasn't lost on me. The universe had its share of surprises, and it was our job to survive each one. A particularly vicious jolt threw me against my harness as Ilara swore under her breath, steering us to the edge of the nebula's shimmering tendrils. Clever bastards, I murmured, feeling the gravitational pull shift. They're herding us right into the heart of madness. The nebula stretched before us, a sprawling dance of colors and light, where star stuff swirled and gravity seemed a suggestion rather than a rule. It was beautiful, chaotic, and utterly deadly. Their plan was working, forcing us into a region where even the most advanced sensors would struggle. I hate being predictable, I grumbled, flipping the comms. Ilara, take us in. Let's see if they have the nerve to follow. The Vigilant Star plunged into the nebula's embrace, the external chaos seeping into the ship. Colors played across the bridge like a cosmic kaleidoscope, a visual symphony at odds with the screeches and wails of stressed metal. Ilara, keep us steady, I urged as the ship lurched violently. The frigate hovered menacingly on the radar, and I felt a grim satisfaction when its readout blinked uncertain. They wouldn't risk the same havoc. Let's lose them in the storm, I said, settling into a rhythm with the ship's erratic movements. The nebula was our salvation, a treacherous playmate we knew better than them. As Ilara focused on navigating the turbulent maw, I couldn't shake the sensation that something within the nebula was calling to us, its voice a haunting harmony weaving through the chaos. I glanced at the crystalline device, now secured on the central console. It pulsed with an insistent inner light. Oleg, is it doing what I think it's doing? I asked, incredulous. Emitting some kind of signal, Commander. Not sure who or what might be listening, Oleg replied, his tone tinged with a mix of excitement and dread. "Great, a beacon in enemy territory. What could possibly go wrong?" I quipped, my humor as dry as the recycled air. Our situation danced dangerously close to desperation, but humor was a better companion than despair. A sudden shift in inertia tossed the bridge into silence. The frigate, having lost interest or nerve, peeled away, leaving us tangled within the nebula's many arms. "We've lost them," Alara confirmed, her hands not leaving the controls. "But this place isn't letting us go so easily." I took a moment, just a breath, to let the relief settle before turning my focus to the immediate mystery. The nebula's inner light played across the crystal like a lover's touch, its resonance reaching deep into my mind. I glimpsed patterns and shapes beyond comprehension, a tapestry woven by an alien intelligence. "Ilara Oleg, we've got to figure out what this thing wants," I said, unbuckling myself from the chair, "and why it's reacting inside this nebula." I approached the crystalline artifact, its shimmer intoxicating. The whisper returned, a melody foreign and yet familiar, tugging at the edges of memory. I reached out, and as my fingers brushed it again, the ship trembled. I was no longer standing on the bridge, but floating in a vast chamber of light, ephemeral structures spiraling around me. Beings of pure energy drifted through the air, a species unlike anything our galaxy had catalogued. They were non-humanoid, each a small galaxy unto themselves, swirling with colors and stars. One such entity approached, its presence overwhelming my senses. It didn't speak as much as it impressed upon me images, emotions, a language of light and pulse. It showed me a vision of a world, untouched by human hands, lost to us beyond the veil of space. A place where the crystal was a key, a map, and a catalyst. The trance broke, and I stumbled back into my body with a gasp, the bridge returning in a rush of reality. Ilara and Oleg were watching with wide eyes, and I realized they'd seen it too. "Well," I said, my voice shaky yet resolute, "it seems our destination is set. But there is a whole other journey." The Vigilant Star hummed in agreement, its path entwined with destiny and the unknown. We had a map, but the road ahead promised trials, wonders, and possibly the end of all we knew. The stakes had never been higher, and our journey had truly begun. Part 3: Echoes of the Unknown Asterisk. The Vigilant Star sailed deeper into the nebula, its path illuminated by alien starlight that painted the corridors with hues from forgotten spectra. The ship's hum was a companionable thrum in my bones, a reminder of our shared purpose as we navigated the treacherous and beautiful heart of this cosmic storm. After the vision, the crystal's presence lingered in my mind, its resonance a steady background note to the symphony of the universe. I hadn't shared every detail with Ilara or Oleg yet. Some revelations were best unveiled like the slow unfurling of a nebula's arms. "Rourke, you all right?" Ilara's voice cut through my thoughts, dragging me back to the here and now. She leaned against the console, her posture relaxed but her eyes sharp with curiosity and concern. "Never better," I replied with a half-smile, only partly a lie. "Just having a good heart-to-heart with our crystal friend." "Sounds like it was quite the conversation," she said, arching a brow. "Are we sure it's friendly?" "Friendly, I don't know. Important, definitely," I said, my tone contemplative. "It showed me a place, a world. Let me guess, paradise or doom," she quipped, her dry humor a welcome anchor in our ocean of uncertainty. "Could be either, maybe both," I replied, leaning back into the captain's chair. "But first, we've got to get out of this nebula alive." Oleg's voice crackled over the comms, interrupting our musings. "Commander, you'll want to see this. Cargo bay, now." Exchanging a glance with Ilara, a silent communication woven from years of shared danger and trust. I followed her down to the bay where Oleg waited, his expression a mix of awe and unease. The air was heavy with static, an electric charge that prickled my skin as we entered. Arrays of crates lay around us, but one corner of the bay now shimmered with a light that had no known source. The crystal on the console had become a beacon, projecting a slowly rotating holographic map of stars and worlds, our galaxy with a point of light highlighting a distant system. Here, Oleg said, pointing to the illuminated system, I've cross-referenced with our charts. This point doesn't exist on any map we have. A hidden system, Alara asked, her voice filled with intrigue. Or a forgotten one, I added, the weight of the crystal in my hand suddenly immense. The crystal's leading us there, but we're not the only ones interested in the destination. As if echoing my words, the ship's emergency lights flickered, warnings screaming through the bay. The Vigilant Star shuddered violently, the nebula's forces wrapping around us like an ancient leviathan waking from slumber. Shields are failing, Oleg shouted, eyes wide as he scrambled to reroute power. Get us steady, I barked, racing back toward the bridge with Alara. The ship groaned, its structural integrity pushed to the brink as we fought to maintain control. On the bridge, the console screen flickered, alive with warnings and static, yet amidst the chaos, I saw it. A massive silhouette gliding through the cosmic storm like a shadow given form. Anomalous vessel detected, Alara announced, her fingers flying over the interface. It's not one of ours, not even a frigate or pirate ship. The vessel loomed in the nebula's swirling mists, vast and elegant, an architecture of alien grace and menace. It was unlike anything built by human hands, its surface aglow with symbols and patterns that danced across its hull like living constellations. Contact, I said, the single word carrying the weight of worlds. Prepare for evasive action. But before we could act, a beam of light shot forth from the alien ship, enveloping the Vigilant Star asterisk. I braced for impact that never came. Instead, an odd calm descended, the nebula's fury dulled to a whisper. They're scanning us, Alara murmured, an edge of awe in her voice. They want something. Or someone, I said, a chill running down my spine. The crystal pulsed in my grip, a heartbeat syncing with the alien vessel's light, an interaction, a recognition. They know we have the crystal, Oleg said, joining us, his eyes wide with realization. We stood on the precipice of discovery and disaster, the alien ship's intentions shrouded in mystery. The galaxy was vast, and in its depths, ancient forces stirred. Commander, what do we do? Alara asked, her voice steady despite the tension that coiled around us. I hesitated, weighing options that were few and risky. To flee might be futile, to stay might unravel secrets that should remain hidden. But time was a luxury we didn't have. We follow the path, I decided, looking each of them in the eye with resolve. The crystal brought us this far, it's our best chance. Setting a course toward the Phantom system, I felt the Vigilant Star asterisk respond, its journey intertwined with the unknown. As the nebula's embrace faded, the alien ship fell into formation behind us like a silent T-Guardian or a shadow. The galaxy stretched before us, and in its vastness, echoes of an ancient call beckoned us onward, promising revelation, risk, and perhaps the reckoning of our very existence. Part 4: The Forbidden Realm. As the asterisk Vigilant Star carved its path through the tapestry of stars, the alien ship shadowed us at a respectful distance, its presence a constant reminder of the unknown depths we were navigating. In the quiet of the bridge, the only sound was the steady hum of the engines and the faint whisper of the crystal, its resonance a haunting melody threading through my thoughts. Alara sat at the comms, her gaze flicking between the screens and the void beyond. "We're getting closer," she said, breaking the silence. "The system's just ahead." Oleg joined us, his expression a blend of curiosity and apprehension. "Any idea what to expect?" "Not a clue," I admitted, running a hand through my hair. "But whatever's out there, it's ancient and it's been waiting." The ship scanners pinged, drawing our attention to the display. A planet loomed into view, its surface cloaked in swirling mists and shadowed crags. It was a world forgotten by time, its secrets buried beneath layers of cosmic dust and history. "There it is," Alara murmured, a note of awe in her voice. "The crystal's destination." As we approached, the alien ship broke formation, gliding ahead with a grace that belied its size. It settled into orbit, its hull casting a protective shadow over the planet's surface. "Looks like we're not the only ones with an interest," Oleg remarked dryly. "Let's hope they're interested in talking rather than shooting," I said, trying to inject some humor into our precarious situation. With a nod, Alara opened a channel, her voice echoing through the ship. "Unidentified vessel, we come in peace. We mean no harm and wish to communicate." For a moment there was silence, and then our console blinked to life, a holographic interface materializing in the air before us. Symbols cascaded across the display, deciphering themselves into a language we could almost comprehend. "They're reaching out," Alara said, her fingers dancing over the controls, "opening a dialogue." Words formed, a greeting in a tongue that was both familiar and alien. "You carry the key of stars," the message read, a resonance brushing against our minds. "Enter and be judged." "Judged," Oleg repeated, skepticism lacing his voice. "That's never a comforting word." "But it's an invitation," I said, rising from my seat. "We've come this far, let's see what they want." The planet below shifted, its atmospheric mists parting to reveal an expanse of ruins and crystalline structures that shimmered in the dim light. It was a city lost to time, a labyrinth of knowledge and power, and at its heart, a massive gateway pulsed in harmony with the crystal's rhythm. "Prepare the drop shuttle," I said to my crew, my decision firm. "We're going down there." The descent was smooth, the shuttle cutting through the atmosphere with practiced ease. As we neared the surface, I felt the planet's pull not just physically but mentally, a presence older than the stars whispering secrets long forgotten. We touched down on an ancient platform, the shuttle's door opening with a hiss to reveal the tangle of alien architecture stretching out before us. The air was thin, charged with the same energy that permeated the crystal. "Welcome," a voice echoed, resonant and layered with echoes of time. Before us stood one of the energy beings from my vision, its form a swirling vortex of light and shadow, stars and galaxies cascading within its ethereal frame. "I am Solas," it intoned, the sound filling the air like music. "Guardian of the Starway, you have brought the key to our realm." "We found it," I replied, stepping forward, the crystal cradled in my hand. "But we don't understand its purpose." "The key is knowledge," Solas said, its form shifting with a fluid grace. "A map to the lost and the forbidden, a bridge between what is known and what is yet to come." As it spoke, the gateway behind it shimmered, arcs of light tracing patterns across its surface. The crystal in my hand pulsed in response, its song resonating with the structures around us. "What's behind the gateway?" Alara asked, awe and apprehension mingling in her voice. "A realm beyond time," Solas explained, its voice a gentle current. "Where memories of the universe are kept, its truths and possibilities, but only those deemed worthy may enter." "And how are we deemed worthy?" Oleg asked, a practical edge to his curiosity. Solas extended its energy-laden form, a cascade of light brushing against our minds, showing us glimpses of the past, the choices we had made, and the futures yet unwritten. It was a trial of integrity, courage, and the willingness to seek understanding. "You must choose," Solas said, its voice a resonant chord. "To cross the starway and face what lies beyond, or to turn back and leave the key for another." My heart thundered in the silence that followed, the weight of the decision pressing down upon me. Once crossed, there would be no return, no undoing of Hat we might uncover. But as I looked at Alara and Oleg, saw the resolve in their eyes mirrored in mine, I realized the choice was already made. The universe had whispered its secrets, and we were ready to listen. "We choose to enter," I declared, stepping toward the gateway, the crystal glowing bright with our resolve. The path ahead was uncharted, filled with the mysteries of a cosmos greater than we could fathom. Yet with every step, the echoes of the unknown called us forward, promising discovery, danger, and the unraveling of truths long hidden from humankind. Together, we would face whatever lay beyond the starway, bound by the light of the key and the wisdom of the ancients. Part 5: The Starway's Threshold. The gateway shimmered with a mesmerizing radiance, an aurora of light and shadow melding into a tapestry that promised the unknown. As the crystal in my hand pulsed with a steady beat, I felt the weight of our decision settle around me like the embrace of an old friend. With each step toward the portal, the world seemed to dissolve, the ancient city fading into a whisper of reality. Alara and Oleg moved beside me, their presence a tether grounding me to the here and now. "Solas," I called out, my voice steady despite the apprehension coiling under my skin. "What awaits us beyond this threshold?" "The culmination of all paths," Solas replied, its form a fluid dance of starlight. "The starway reveals the essence of the universe and the echoes of choices made and unmade." A shiver ran through me, the implications vast and daunting. We were on the cusp of unveiling secrets that could change the very fabric of our understanding. And yet, the allure was irresistible, a siren call of discovery that promised both peril and possibility. "Remember," Solas intoned, its voice a gentle susurration, "the starway does not lie. It reflects your truths, your fears, and your desires. Be prepared to face them." With those words lingering in the air, I stepped forward, the crystal in my hand arching into a beam of light that met the gateway's surface. The world around us warped, a kaleidoscope of color and sensation enveloping us as we crossed the threshold. For a heartbeat, everything was silence, a breath held in anticipation. Then the universe unfurled around us, vast and unending, a sea of stars stretching into infinity. We stood on a bridge of light woven from the cosmos itself, suspended in the void. The starway spiraled out before us, a pathway through the heart of existence, each step an echo of history and future intertwined. "My God," Alara breathed, her eyes wide with wonder as she gazed at the expanse. "It's beautiful." "More than that," Oleg added, his voice hushed but filled with awe. "It's alive." He was right. The starway pulsed with life, every particle a note in a cosmic symphony that resonated through our very beings. It was not merely a path, but a living entity, an ancient intelligence woven from the fabric of the universe. In the distance, points of light glimmered, portals leading to realms unknown, each one a gateway to knowledge, to truth, to the souls of stars and worlds that had ever been. Which way? I wondered aloud, the enormity of choice making my decision seem impossibly small. There was no map, no guide but the pull of the crystal, its inner light resonating with one of the portals. drawing us toward it with a certainty I could not deny. "That way," Alara said, gesturing toward the portal that called to our core. "It's as if the crystal knows." With a nod, we set forth, each step a journey between heartbeats, the starway whispering its secrets in the language of light and shadow. As we moved, I felt the presence of others, those who had walked this path before us, their echoes mingling with our own. And then we were at the portal, its glow welcoming us with a gentle warmth. With a final glance back at Sola's, its form watching from the threshold, I stepped forward, the universe dissolving and reforming around us. We emerged into a vast chamber, its walls a tapestry of light woven with images and symbols beyond comprehension. The air was thick with history, each breath a memory of time distilling into the present moment. "Where are we?" Oleg asked, his voice reverent as he took in the grandeur of the chamber. "The heart of the starway," I replied, the truth resonant in my bones. "A place where all that was, is, and could be converges." As if in response, the chamber shifted, its walls alive with movement. Images and sounds cascaded around us, glimpses of civilizations risen and fallen, the birth of stars and the silence of their deaths. It was the tapestry of the universe, a living chronicle of existence itself. The crystal flared with light, its song harmonizing with the chamber's rhythms. I felt its essence entwine with mine, a bond forged from the shared desire for understanding. But with revelation came challenge, the realization that we stood not just as witnesses, but as participants in the story of the cosmos. The starway had brought us here for a reason, and now it demanded we choose our place within its immortal weave. "What now?" Alara asked, the weight of possibility heavy in her voice. "We listen," I said simply, feeling the truth settle within me, "and we learn what the universe has to teach." Together we stood at the precipice of the starway's mysteries, ready to face the truths unearthed within us, and the echoes of 1,000 worlds waiting to be heard. In this cosmic dance, we were both students and storytellers, bound by the light of the key and the limitless wonder of all that lies beyond. Part 6: Whispers of Eternity. The chamber pulsed with a life of its own, the walls a shifting canvas of stars and stories. Each image that flickered across the surface was a whisper in the language of time, a history unraveled, inviting us to delve deeper into its embrace. Alara, Oleg, and I stood at the center of this cosmic museum, feeling both infinitesimal and infinite, our senses tingling with the energy coursing through the starway's heart. The crystal in my hand pulsed in sync with the chamber's rhythm, urging us onward in this dance of discovery. "We're not just here to observe," I realized aloud, the weight of understanding heavy on my tongue. "We're here to contribute, to add our own echoes to the tapestry." Oleg nodded, his eyes reflecting the kaleidoscope of light surrounding us. "It's like a living ledger of everything that has ever been." "And everything that could be," Alara added, her gaze fixed on a particular panel where galaxies spiraled into being, stars igniting like fireworks in the void. The chamber shifted again, an invitation woven into its illuminated fabric. Without a moment's hesitation, we moved toward the epicenter of the starway's mind, a vast aperture framed by arcs of luminescent energy. As we approached, a form began to resolve from the starlit mist, a presence both familiar and profoundly alien. It was Sola's, yet not, an iteration of the entity we had encountered, older and infused with the knowledge of epochs. "Welcome, seekers of truth," the being intoned, its voice a harmony of the cosmos itself. "You stand at the convergence of possibility. Your journey here marks but the beginning." The being's words resonated deeply, echoing through every fiber of my being. I felt a connection stretching beyond myself, a thread linking us to the heartbeat of the universe. "What is our role here?" I asked, my voice a steady ripple in the stillness. "To weave new patterns into the tapestry," the being replied, its form shifting through hues unimaginable. "Each choice you make, each path you tread, these are the threads that shape destiny." A vision unfurled before us, worlds where our actions had ripple effects, small choices cascading into monumental change. It was an overwhelming expanse of possibility, a testament to the power of intention and consequence. "For every action," Alara murmured, catching her breath, "there is an echo." The being nodded, its form a conduit of luminescent understanding. "You have seen the echoes, now understand them. Through knowledge comes responsibility." As it spoke, tendrils of light extended from the chamber walls, wrapping around us in a cocoon of warmth and light. I felt the crystal's presence merge with mine, its resonance amplifying as the starway's energy coursed through us. Memories not our own flooded my mind, an archive of existence from the first spark to the endless expanse. I saw civilizations rise and fall, alliances forged and broken, the eternal dance of creation and entropy. Each vision a fragment, a note in the symphony of the cosmos. And then a deeper understanding revealed itself, a singular truth. The universe was not a machine of indifference, but a living organism adapting, evolving, dreaming. Every choice, every moment, woven into its endless tapestry of becoming. "What do we do with this knowledge?" Oleg asked, his voice quiet with the weight of realization. "We guide it," the being answered, its gaze meeting ours. "You are not just observers, but navigators of reality. Your understanding shapes the path ahead." The chamber's energy intensified, a crescendo that reached into my very soul. It was a call to action, a reminder of the infinite potential within each of us. "We can start by listening to each other," I said, the words a promise to my companions and to the universe itself. "By understanding that every choice matters." Ilara nodded, her eyes bright with resolve. "It's up to us to decide what echoes we leave behind." The being's luminescence flared, a final blessing of light before it dissolved back into the chamber's embrace. The path before us was clear, a bridge not just between worlds, but between possibility and reality. With newfound clarity, we stepped forward, leaving behind the chamber of echoes yet carrying its wisdom within us. The starway's whispers faded into the hum of the universe, yet their message remained, a guide for the journey yet to come. As we returned to the Vigilant Star asterisk, I felt a shift in the air, a tangible sense of purpose threading through the ship. We were not alone in this vast cosmos, we were part of its heartbeat, a fragment of its dreams. The galaxy awaited us, its mysteries open and untamed. And as we charted our course back into the stars, I felt the echoes of eternity resonating in our wake, each choice a note in the symphony of the universe. The adventure was far from over, it had only just begun. Part 7: The Fractured Veil. Back aboard the Vigilant Star asterisk, the ship felt different, alive in a way that transcended its mechanical nature. The starway's revelations lingered in my mind like the resonance of distant music, guiding my thoughts toward the infinite. Yet there was no time to dwell, the universe had its own plans. As I stood on the bridge, the familiar hum of the engines a comforting backdrop, Ilara and Oleg joined me, their expressions reflecting the same wonder and determination that coursed through my veins. "We've crossed a threshold," Ilara said, her eyes gleaming with the light of newfound understanding. "The starway showed us the universe's heart, but what's next, Rourke?" "Next," I replied, staring into the endless expanse beyond the viewport, we figure out how to use what we've learned. The galaxy's a vast place, and we've got work to do. The crystal, nestled securely on the console, pulsed in agreement, its song now woven into our consciousness. It was more than a map, it was a beacon, leading us to the next chapter in this unfolding saga. Oleg's voice broke through my musings. "Commander, I've been monitoring the systems. There's a strange anomaly emanating from the crystal. It's like it's tuning into something." Something or someone, I mused, curiosity piqued. The possibilities were as vast as the starlit void around us. The anomaly manifested as a series of coordinates, flickering on the screen like a cosmic breadcrumb trail. It was unmistakable, an invitation to a place that once lay hidden in the folds of space. "Looks like the crystal wants us to follow," Ilara said with a wry smile. "Seems we have new directions." "Chart the course," I commanded, feeling the familiar thrill of adventure stir within me. As the Vigilant Star altered its trajectory, the ship hummed with renewed purpose, a vessel not just of metal and circuitry, but a living entity fused with our intent. The journey was long, the void passing in a kaleidoscope of color and shadow, each star a promise of wonders and dangers yet to be faced. Time stretched and contracted, the reality of space travel an exercise in patience and anticipation. When we neared our destination, anticipation hung thick in the air. The coordinates led us to a region of space obscured by cosmic dust and gravitational eddies, a veil shielding its secrets from the casual observer. As we breached the veil, the sight that greeted us was beyond anything I had imagined. A sprawling structure suspended in the void, its architecture an intricate dance of geometry and light. It was a city of the cosmos, constructed by hands not of this world. "Whatever this place is," Oleg remarked, his voice tinged with awe, "it's older than anything in our database. Almost as if it was built by the same beings who created the starway," Ilara added, her eyes wide with wonder and recognition. The structure pulsed with life, energy flowing through its veins like luminescent rivers. It was a living city, whispering with the echoes of countless histories. A transmission crackled through the comms, an unknown language forming symbols across our screens. The crystal reacted, its light interacting with the transmission, translating it into the universal tongue of the starway. "Welcome, travelers," the message read. "The city of Eons awaits your wisdom." The invitation was clear, the path set before us. As the Vigilant Star descended toward a landing platform, the city stretched out beneath us, a labyrinth of knowledge and mystery. Stepping onto the surface, the air tingled with static, the atmosphere charged with potential. The city's architecture loomed around us, alien yet inviting, a testament to the creativity of ancient minds. We followed the glowing pathways, drawn toward the heart of the city where the energy peaked, a beacon guiding us through the maze of time. At the center stood a monumental structure, its surface etched with symbols that seemed to shift and flow, an ever-changing tapestry of information. The crystal resonated with the symbols, unlocking a portal that shimmered into existence before us. "What lies beyond?" Ilara asked, her voice a mix of excitement and caution. "A deeper understanding," I suggested, feeling the pull of the unknown. Perhaps the answers to questions we didn't know we had. We crossed the threshold, entering a chamber bathed in starlight, where figures of energy and light circled, a council of the ancient, their forms shifting through history's spectrum. One of the beings turned toward us, its presence a flood of insight. "You have come far, travelers," it spoke, its voice a melody of stars. "In this city, the past meets the future, share your knowledge, and learn from what is timeless. In that moment, the universe unfolded anew, a cycle of understanding and contribution. The city of Eons was a crucible where destinies were forged, and we were its latest apprentices, ready to inscribe our story. Into the cosmos. As the journey continued, a new chapter began. The path was uncertain, but the echoes of eternity guided us forward, each step a testament to the unending dance of possibility and purpose. The adventure, as ever, was boundless, and we were ready to embrace it. Part 8: The Guardians of Eons. The chamber enveloped us in its ethereal glow, the walls alive with patterns that danced to the rhythm of the cosmos. Each symbol, each flicker of light, seemed to pulse with a story of its own, a dialect of eternity that whispered secrets into the fabric of our minds. The council of light beings surrounded us, their presence resonant and welcoming. They were the guardians of eons, weavers of the universe's timeless narrative. Their forms shimmered with the hues of ancient galaxies, eyes as deep as the void itself. "Your journey has led you here," the lead guardian spoke, its voice a harmony of forgotten stars. "We are the keepers of knowledge, the custodians of what was and what might be." The atmosphere crackled with energy, a tangible force that set my nerves alight. The Vigilant Star and its purpose paled in comparison to the magnitude of this place, where the boundaries of past and future blurred into one. Ilara stepped forward, her gaze steady as she addressed the Guardians. "We've seen the Starway, we know its connection to the crystal, but why us? Why now?" "Because you are ready," the Guardian replied, its form shifting like a nebula caught in a stellar wind. "The Key of Stars has chosen you to be its voice, to bridge the gap between understanding and action." Oleg approached, curiosity etched on his face. "What exactly does the crystal hold? What's its purpose beyond being a map?" The symbols on the chamber walls intensified, forming a tapestry of shimmering light that unraveled into a grand vision. We were shown the birth of stars, the first flicker of consciousness in the universe, a symphony of creation that transcended time. "The crystal is a conduit," the Guardian explained, its voice reverberating through our souls. "It channels the essence of the cosmos, a tool to forge understanding and unity among the stars." The revelation reverberated within me, a wave of comprehension that echoed across my very being. The crystal was more than a guide, it was a catalyst for change, a compass that pointed toward a future where the universe was not just observed but understood. "So what are we meant to do?" I asked, feeling the weight of destiny resting on my shoulders. "What role do we play in this vast tapestry?" The Guardians' forms coalesced, their energy converging into a singular brilliance. "Your task is to share this knowledge, to open the eyes of those who are blind to the infinite possibilities." As we absorbed the implications of their words, the chamber shifted, expanding into a vista of interconnected worlds and realities. A network of life and light, each thread a path to wisdom and evolution. "You are its stewards," the Guardian continued, its presence wrapping around us like a comforting embrace. "The crystal has chosen wisely. Use it to unite, to learn, and to grow beyond the confines of what is known." A shiver ran down my spine as the enormity of our undertaking settled within me. We were not alone. We were part of something immeasurable, a continuum of explorers and dreamers who had come before and would come after. Ilara turned to me, her expression a mix of determination and wonder. "We need to return to the Vigilant Star Rourke. There's so much to do, so much to share." I nodded, feeling the same resolve pulse in my veins. Oleg gave a small nod, the weight of the task ahead clear in his eyes, yet bolstered by the promise of purpose. The guardians began to dissolve, their forms retreating into the infinite light. "Remember," their voice echoed, a melody of cosmic echoes, "the key of stars is both a guide and a gift. Use it well." As the chamber faded, we found ourselves once more on the surface of the city, the pathways glowing beneath our feet, a map of starlight leading us back to the shuttle. The journey back to the Vigilant Star was filled with a charged silence, each of us wrapped in thoughts of the future. The ship welcomed us with its hum, its presence a familiar comfort amidst the uncertainty. Back on the bridge, I activated the crystal, its light cascading over the console, a beacon of hope and a reminder of our newfound mission. "We have a message to deliver," I said, feeling the thrill of determination ignite within me. "One that spans the universe." With the galaxy stretching before us, a canvas of uncharted paths and untold stories, we set our course into the unknown. The adventure was far from complete. Our journey had just begun, and with it, the promise of discovery, unity, and the endless dance of possibility that lay beyond the horizon. Part 9: The Symphony of Stars. The Vigilant Star became a beacon slicing through the void, its newly defined purpose echoing in the silent expanse of space. Aboard the ship, every corridor seemed to hum with a newfound energy, charged by the weighty mission we had been entrusted with by the guardians of eons. As the galaxy unfolded before us, a tangle of light and shadow, we began our quest to reach worlds across the endless expanse and share the crystal's message of unity and discovery. The universe, with its immeasurable wonders, awaited our touch. Ilara and Oleg joined me on the bridge, each of us grappling with the enormity of our task. The crystal sat on the console, its light pulsing with a steady, reassuring rhythm. It felt alive now, a quiet companion guiding our course. "First stop on our cosmic tour?" Oleg asked, his voice carrying a mixture of excitement and trepidation. I keyed in the coordinates the crystal whispered, its inner light casting a map of potential across the screen. "The system of Xylar," I announced, feeling the name resonate with promise. "The crystal says it's the heart of a burgeoning civilization." Ilara leaned forward, her curiosity piqued. "How are we supposed to make contact? They might not even be aware of the larger cosmic community." "We start by understanding them," I replied, meeting her gaze with the confidence I hoped would reassure. "Learning their language, their culture, the crystal will help us bridge that gap." As we drew closer to Xylar, the main view screen filled with the hazy silhouette of the planet, a world cloaked in swirling mists and vibrant auroras. It was breathtaking in its beauty, a jewel set against the dark canvas of the cosmos. With careful precision, I guided the Vigilant Star into orbit. The ship's systems hummed as they synchronized with the planet's frequencies, the crystal acting as a conduit for our intentions. "Initiating scan," Ilara reported, her fingers dancing over the console. "Let's see what we're dealing with." The data poured in, a tapestry of life unfolding. Cities nestled within lush valleys, their architecture a harmonious blend with nature, communities thriving on innovation and cooperation. The civilization was advanced, but their eyes had yet to turn to the stars. "They're on the cusp of interstellar awareness," Oleg said, awe coloring his voice. "Right at the edge of discovering there's more beyond their skies." "We need to approach them without causing alarm," Ilara mused, considering our options. "An outright landing might be too much." As if sensing our dilemma, the crystal flared, casting a shimmering hologram that outlined a plan, a way to communicate through light and energy, to introduce ourselves gently to the Xylarians. Following its guidance, We initiated a series of light pulses toward the surface, patterns and frequencies designed to mimic the natural rhythms observed in their culture. The Vigilant Star became a symphony of light, a beacon of peaceful intent. Silence reigned as we waited, anxiously watching for their response. Then, slowly, lights flickered on the planet's surface, answering our call with a dance of color and sound that resonated with the heart of our message. "They're replying," Oleg exclaimed, grinning with the thrill of first contact. "Looks like we have an audience," Alara added, her eyes bright with the possibilities ahead. The crystal's glow intensified, a bridge forming between our languages, a channel of understanding. As the Xylarians' response grew more intricate, their curiosity shone through, an invitation to learn more about each other. "Open a communications channel," I instructed, feeling the moment's gravity. "Let's introduce ourselves." Alara complied, and the bridge filled with a harmonious melody, a language of light and sound that transcended words. The Xylarians' presence filled the room, their voices a chorus of discovery and wonder. "Travelers from the stars," their song began, vibrating through the Vigilant Star asterisk. "We welcome your light and your knowledge." "We come in peace," I replied, feeling the crystal's warmth flow through my words, "with stories and wisdom from beyond your skies." The exchange unfolded like a harmonious dance, each note and pulse a step toward mutual understanding. We shared stories of distant worlds, of the unity and diversity that span the cosmos, and the Xylarians responded with tales of their own, rich with culture and history. As the dialogue continued, I felt a profound connection deepen, a bond woven from curiosity and shared purpose. This was what the Guardians of Eons had envisioned, a joining of worlds, a symphony of stars that span the universe. Hours passed in a beautiful blur, the exchange of wisdom and wonder leaving us enriched and eager for more. When the final notes faded, a promise lingered, a commitment to continue this exchange, to grow together in the cosmic dance. As the asterisk Vigilant Star set its course to depart Xylar, the planet shimmered below, a beacon of newfound understanding in the galaxy. We were on a path of light, guided by the crystal and the promise of what lay ahead. With each new world, each new story shared, the universe expanded and we were its stewards, entrusted with the melody of the stars. The adventure was boundless, a journey of becoming, of connection, and of the eternal echoes that bound us all. Part 10: The Veil of Shadows. The Vigilant Star drifted away from Xylar, its newfound mission shining brightly in the minds of its crew. The stars stretched endlessly before us, a sprawling tapestry of light and mystery. Each pinprick of light was a potential destination, another story waiting to be written into the annals of our journey. The crystal, our steadfast guide, pulsed gently on the console, its glow an ever-present reminder of the purpose bestowed upon us by the Guardians of Eons. Every flicker of its light seemed to whisper promises of revelations yet to come. As we navigated the cosmos, the ship felt more alive, an organic extension of our will and intent. Yet even as the asterisk Vigilant Star carved its path through the galaxy, a shadow began to creep at the edges of our awareness. "Alara, get anything on the long-range sensors?" I asked, sensing an unease that had settled upon us like a silent fog. She glanced at the console, her brow furrowing. "There's something, a disturbance. It's faint, but definitely there." Oleg leaned over, scrutinizing the readings. "It's like looking into a fracture, a tear in space." Curiosity and concern mingled within me, a potent mix stirring my instincts. The universe, vast and unpredictable, had thrown us another puzzle. Let us have a closer look, I decided, adjusting our trajectory. If there's an anomaly, we need to understand it. As we neared the source of the disturbance, the stars seemed to warp, their light bending in unnatural ways. A ripple in the fabric of space, much like a stone dropped into a pond, lay before us, its epicenter a dark void that swallowed light and time. "Looks like someone took a pair of cosmic scissors to space," Alara remarked, her voice tinged with both awe and trepidation. "It's mesmerizing," Oleg added, unable to tear his gaze from the anomaly, "and unnerving." The void pulsed with a sinister beauty, its gravitational pull a constant, subtle threat. The crystal on the console thrummed with energy, sensing the disturbance and reacting in kind. "Whatever it is, it's unstable," I noted, feeling the ship shudder as it adjusted to the anomaly's presence. "We need to be careful." The Vigilant Star hovered at the edge of the void, a delicate balance between curiosity and caution. As we observed its erratic patterns, a realization dawned upon me. This was no naturally occurring phenomenon. "It's artificial," I stated, the certainty in my voice surprising even me. "Someone or something created this." The gravity of the declaration hung in the air, a chilling reminder of the unknown forces at play in the universe. But before we could unravel the implications, the void reacted, unfurling like an ancient beast disturbed from its slumber. Tendrils of darkness reached out, latching onto the ship with a grip that sent alarms blaring across the bridge. The Vigilant Star asterisk groaned, systems struggling against the anomaly's pull. "Shields are failing," Oleg shouted, his fingers flying over the controls in a desperate bid to stabilize us. "We need to break free," Alara urged, her voice taut with tension. I engaged the emergency thrusters, the ship straining to pull away from the void's grasp. The crystal pulsed erratically, its harmony disrupted by the anomaly's presence. With a final, desperate surge, the Vigilant Star broke free, careening away from the void's clutches. The ship trembled, systems stabilizing as we distanced ourselves from the malevolent anomaly. Breathing heavily, I allowed myself a moment to process the narrow escape. The void lingered behind us, a reminder of mysteries beyond our comprehension. "What was that?" Alara asked, her voice a mix of relief and residual fear. "An enigma," I replied, the word hanging in the air like a challenge. "One that needs to be understood, if not by us, then by those who can." Oleg nodded, the seriousness of the encounter etched into his features. "It's a threat to everything around it. We need to warn others, make sure they know what's out here." "We will," I promised, feeling the weight of responsibility settle within me. "But first, we need to get back on course. The universe doesn't stop unfolding because of one dark corner." As the asterisk Vigilant Star resumed its journey, I glanced at the crystal, its light steady once more. Its presence was a comfort, a reminder that amidst the darkness we carried the light of knowledge. The galaxy awaited, its secrets vast and varied. And as we continued to chart the unknown, I knew our path was still being written, a story of exploration and discovery that would echo through time. With every star we passed, every world we touched, the symphony of the universe played on. And we, its newfound stewards, were ready to listen to its endless song, embracing both the light and the shadow woven into its cosmic dance.